Oh, as always, flowing abundance of Bible scrolls, I am your gracious host, Mr. Bobby Shades, and this is Bridging Fairs. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, nobody was talking about slavery until years later that America started to discuss it. Like Major Hype would say, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Let's go. So family, nobody was talking about slavery. That's what our highly intellectual, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, was saying recently. Nobody was really talking about slavery. What? I made reference of Major Hype. He's a comedian, a Caribbean comedian. You should check out his channel, Major, MAJAHHYPE, Hype. Major Hype. Very good, funny guy. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. This fool turned around and said nobody was really talking about slavery until years later that America started to bring it into conversation. The ignorance, the arrogance, the stupidity on an astronomical level. I can tell you who was discussing slavery. The fucking slaves were discussing slavery. They were questioning, why am I shackled? Why is my family being ripped apart? Why is there inbreeding? Why is the master sleeping with my wife and looks at me as he passes me by and has the balls to say she better be good tonight? Why are our babies being used as bait to catch alligators for their hide? And the unspeakable other atrocities that took place. Yet this fool has the stupidity and the gall to turn around and say nobody was the slaves were. The slaves were talking about, why is this happening? They were. That's like saying, well, you know what, let me not touch that, because then I'll probably get cited and a particular group will be upset, about a particular other culture that went through some harrowing atrocities. So I'll leave it alone. Surely you can know who I'm talking about. But this dumbass fool turns around and said no one was talking about it. Marginalizing it. Almost like jeering it. Like, as my mother would say, like jeering, like you're jeering me. You're making fun of me. Like, oh, no one was talking about, listen, it passed, so why are we still talking about that? Because there's a lot of things that are still going on in our society. That's why. As, oh my goodness, what is the Supreme Court judge? I can see his face. He had a scandal with Anita Hill. His wife is in trouble, as a matter of fact. She's being subpoenaed to appear before Congress about the January 6th riot. Can't remember his name right now. I'll bring it up tomorrow. Anyway, and he said, because he had a moment of being in the news when he was running for Supreme Court judge 20, 30 years ago, whatever. And he said, this is a I never forgot, this is a high-tech lynching. I thought, wow. A powerful statement. It's a high-tech lynching. And that is what still takes place in our society today. That is what still takes place of the marginalization of a group of people, the black people and the brown too. I mentioned this in a post. I'm going to reiterate it again. Dr. Claude Anderson, by the way, check out any of his books. Look upon him on YouTube. He's a historian, an archiver. He studies, he's a forensic historian who unearths a great many lies, a great many situations that America has buried or long forgotten, that it became the norm. I don't even know where to go with this one, honestly. I'm just appalled. But yes, okay, I'll touch upon in this respect. So Dr. Claude Addison, I mentioned this once before, had made reference how from the period of slavery up until now, the economic gain of a black person has only moved 0.14%, which means technically that it really didn't move since slavery. Now, for those of you that are going to be on here and be like, oh, but you got your Michael Jordans and you got your LeBron James and you got your Steph Currys and you got, you had your Whitney Houstons and Michael Jacksons and, Rihanna now is a billionaire and Jay-Z's a billionaire. Those are magazine worth of individuals. They're not textbooks of worthy individuals throughout history. It's just magazines worth, which means it's very small. The amount of donation that blacks have poured into this country is astronomical. The wealth, the growth was done by blacks primarily. Slavery was a business. Cotton picking was a business. You had slave owners that were incredibly successful, incredibly rich from that. And many other growths and bring this back. Many other growths in America that made very famous names like the Carnegies and the Mellons, the Carnegie Mellons and the Vanderbilts, very rich. Railroads that were placed down by the majority of blacks. Hell, the Tuskegee Airmen were a group of airmen, I believe like 12 of them, that were given the most horrible planes, yet they were the most fiercest and most calculating and greatest air fighters. But they were given the most crappiest planes. Don't if they crash, they crash. You also had syphilis. The study of syphilis was through blacks. They were given syphilis to see how they would react. Used as guinea pigs in experiments. When you buy a sun-kissed orange and you see the label on it, the man that made the presser, the labeling, was a black man. When a train stops, the man that made the pulley that stops the train was a black man. The machine gun was created by a black man. The light pole that everybody, when it gets dark and it turns on, was created by a black man. Golf. We only know of one black individual, kind of, sort of, and that's Tiger Woods. Yeah, I'm sure there's others, but we only know of him. But it was created by blacks. So the donations that blacks have given in this country is astronomical. Yet, we are preyed upon, we are marginalized, we are demonized, we are separated, we are incarcerated at an alarming rate. Our medical coverage is less than par. Our schooling system, especially in poor, disenfranchised neighborhoods, is garbage. It is a group of people put back, so back, that they have no step in the legal system, in the financial institutions, in any kind of economic gain, in social and political existence. Nothing. But this fool has the audacity, big cojones, big balls to say, well, no one was really talking about it. History showed that Columbus, allegedly, which he didn't, because you had Native Americans and blacks in America. It's being unearthed. Give it time. It'll come out more in the masses. Just history. But somebody decided a very long time ago to unearth it and to celebrate it. And it's done every day. So Let's say someone didn't talk about it then, but talks about it now. Should it not have any importance? Should there not be weight put to it, and understanding, and a compellingness to say, listen, let's study this. Let's go into the history of this to see what this is all about, you know? Because this is important. There's a museum in New York City dedicated to the Jewish Holocaust. The celebration and the discussion of freedom with the discussion of what they went through. And it's important. Did he come out and say, well, no one was really talking about the Jews? I mean, it wasn't until, I forget which director did Schindler's List. You know, we really didn't put any time to it. Like, should we not acknowledge that? See it for what it's worth? A lot of things have been run amok, and a lot of things have been, how do you put it? They've been twisted. When you think of the word ghetto, you think of black automatically. Black ghettos. Black. Yet, the terminology ghetto was coined for Irish, Italian, and Jews that came over to the Statue of Liberty, Governor's Island, I believe. I get confused with which one of these islands, forgive me. Not Randall's Island, but I believe Governor's Island. And they were given citizenship or entrance. I don't know exactly what the format was. Citizenship or entrance to become a citizen of these United States. They were given that. And then they were put into various parts of the Lower East Side and Lower West Side and what have you. And they were called ghettos. But Robert Moses, the architect of how New York City looks today, with its sprawling parks, I think we have the most parks than any other state in the nation. And the high-rises, aka projects, was created by him. And then that term shifted to the black experience, the black existence. But you see how history twists it? Most people don't know that. And you know why? Because we don't have a discussion about it. And if we did, well, no one really was talking about it until, now, until Bobby Shades brought it up. I'm dumb. Anyway, family, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to promote the idiocy of this individual and the lack of consideration. And again, this is the same man that has played with the lives of individuals and shipped them abroad without any notice to receiving states, without any consideration to these people and what they have been through and are still going through. No consideration. And doubles down on it. So this is the same fool that sleeps well at night knowing that he doesn't give two shits about people. Shit. Even Donald Trump gotta touch my man. He even said he's what did he say? He is a unappreciative little whatever. He's unappreciative. I made him. He said, I made this guy. And this is how he is to me now. Anyway, family, that's all I have for you today. Let us give thanks and praise that we are 6 feet above ground and not below, and that those in our inner circle are in the same vein. Whatever you do today, if you make a statement of silence, make it loud and proud like the oxymoron, eyes wide shut. And keep your head on a swivel. Look around you. People are crazy. People are doing things for shits and giggles. A guy got killed because another guy didn't say thank you to him for holding the door. People are killing people, hurting people in broad daylight now. They don't even give a damn. do we give a damn about the cameras? Since COVID, things have gotten disgustingly worse. Be safe out there, family. So whatever you do, stay lovely, stay sexy, but most of all, stay safe. This is Bridging Fears. I am your gracious host, Mr. Bobby Shades. It is always truly a pleasure. It is always truly a pleasure. It is always a pleasure for you to ride with me and for me to ride with you. And please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. A lot of good stuff on here. Let's go. See you guys in the next clip. Peace.